Okay, next one is I want to bring the team now. Let's register a product. What should we do? And during this journey, step by step, I would like to share with you some tips as well to be a good regulatory or be a smart regulatory. How come you can register product quicker than your competitor, maybe? Okay, the first step, this is my favorite step, is what is your product? You can see our favorite color here, orange color here. What is your product? Because this is the important question. Your product is a drug or device or food or cosmetic. You need to make that decision because once your product are decided as a normal household product or food, your registration path, documentation requirement, everything different, right? So that's a big decision actually. So how can you make that decision? Of course, you need to look at the definition, you know, about this product. So this is the definition of the medical device. We are teaching in 9 universities now in Asia, including Singapore, NTU. Normally, we teach our students, you know, don't try to remember that. It's a very long definition. You may not able to remember in your brain like that. That's not easy. So I create a very simple formula. Okay. So medical device normally very straightforward. You need to have two things. If you have these two things, you are medical device. First, as a medical device, you should have a medical use. I think it makes sense, right? As a medical product, you should have a medical use. And that definition you can look at here. All the diagnosis, prevention, monitoring, etc., is actually talking about medical use. Okay? Let me give you an example because everybody know medical use, but what is not medical use? For example, like skin whitening. This is make my skin more smooth, more skin whitening, for example. This is not a medical condition. This is just like cosmetic claim. So it's not medical use. Oh, how about aging skin? You know, aging. Solve my aging problem. Or I got this, the skin texture getting worse. It's aging now. Aging is not a disease. Okay, I hope the team understand. It's a normal people progress, right? Aging. So unless you have the trauma here, your skin got burned, even you know other disease or condition, then you talk about medical use. But there are many conditions. It's not a medical condition or medical use. I hope the team got some idea what's medical use. And then the second thing is how does it work? And you can see on the second one here is physical and mechanical function. So what it means is you must be, how the product work is must be work like a physical, mechanical, electronical way, because drug also have medical use, right? But how they work is pharmacological way, or to a certain extent, chemical way. So you can see, you know, this is one of the part of the definition. Do not achieve the principal action by pharmacological process, immunological process, like that. Because you have a drug, you swallow the drug, metabolize, and function. That's pharmacological. You apply a cream, then absorb, then you function. You inject a vaccine, then the vaccine have an immunological way. That's how I call it pharmacological way. But you know, medical device is not like that. You won't absorb the medical device. You won't have your organ interact with the medical device and then form something different or together like that. That's pharmacological, really chemical action. But our medical device, most of the time, physical, mechanical function like that. So if you can fit these two required criteria, like I just mentioned, you are a medical device. Okay, so you know, not that difficult, right? You just need to remember these two little criteria. Okay, let's now have some fun in terms of the let's how to classify this product. There's an alcohol wipes. I think this is my favorite example. I keep on raising this example again and again. But this is, I think everybody know that a tissue paper with alcohol wipes. What do you think? Is that a medical device or drug or up to you? I think the selection should be up to you. Okay, I don't want you to say not sure. The first selection is up to you. What will be your choice? Okay, yes, no, or up to you. Okay, this time I see some interesting answer. So most of people say it's not medical device, and 12% said that is not sure or up to you, right? So let me share with you answer. And you know what? That's another lesson. As a regulatory, I always recommend when you answer your commercial team, your boss questions, this is normally the best answer. Okay, where's the next slide? The next answer I highly recommend the team is, what do you want? Okay, as a expensive regulatory, you should have the ability to do anything. You know that sounds like powerful regulation, right? Anything. What do you want? If you want to register this product as a pharmaceutical, you can. You just say you are using these alcohol wipes to clean your wound because that have a pharmacological action. The alcohol part will do some disinfection on your wound, on your skin. Okay? Pharmaceutical product. No. Pharmaceutical registration, documentation, that kinds of thing I don't have. I only have other documentation, wherever. Okay, there's a thing called medical device. If you use it to clean, not wound, but surgical instrument, like somebody do surgery, they need to clean the scalpel. Medical use, right? But no pharmacological action with human body because you're just cleaning a surgical instrument. Good medical device. You have a choice, medical device. Oh, no. I want to launch tomorrow. Can I launch tomorrow? Yes, also can. You register as a household product. You can launch tomorrow in supermarket. Then what can I say about the product? You say nothing maybe because you're not able to say anything warm or anything medical. You say to clean for, somebody you want to clean somebody water bottle, wherever, also okay, but just no medical claims. Then you're okay. So you can see the same exact product, same formula, same packaging, whatever, even the same use, you wipe something, You can position your product any way you like. You just need to justify the use here. So the definition is boring, but the flexibility here and the interpretation here is the fun part. That's why, people, the team here, I want you to understand, a lot of time you are not sure about your product classification. Most of the time you will ask government official. Let's ask HSA. Let them confirm me what should be my product classification. You are giving them a difficult problem because you can actually classify anything, depends on your claims. So normally HSA or even many consultants will ask you, then show me your package insert. They will purely based on your package insert because you say you clean something, i.e. also instrument or human body or whatever, then that's why they base on that and make the decision. Then at the end you think, oh, okay, I have one choice. That's what the HSA say. But actually, no, you actually have all the choice. like I mentioned here. Okay, so I hope this example not too confusing, but I want the team here to feel the power now, regulatory power or flexibility, that regulation is not like that, not flexible. Regulation people so boring, stick to the thing, not moving. It's not like that. Okay, then I think the BCS team also asking me is it the similar situation in US and Europe as well? Because I'm more talking from an Asia point of view. The good news is, yes, if you understand this definition today, the good news is when we go US, Europe, the whole world, they are using the same concept. So good news. The only variation is, of course, different country, you may have a different intended use, then classification may be different. How it works, if every country say differently, then also because this part that also will be different. And then another thing is, sometimes for many other reasons, historical or social reason, you also need to check out what's the local registered product. They need to take as a reference. For example, color contact lens. Everybody know color contact lens. The lens with color, but no power. So you don't correct any eye problem. You just give you eye color only. To you, you don't have medical use, right? But it's a medical device in Singapore. That is some important exception. It's like 1 or 2% in the whole definition. If you understand this, you understand 99%. But there's still 1% with the exception, like due to social reason, because color contact lens have many safety issues. The government want to control about it, so they still want to regulate this product using medical device regulation. That totally not because of this definition, but because of other reasons, like social reason, like I mentioned before. So that maybe you need to check with if you are selling a product and you have a similar product in the market that already registered and already classified as a drug, for example, then maybe you need to take a note. Maybe they make a different claims. Maybe they have many different reasons. Okay. Okay, finally, step one, I put more time because step one is super important. You really determine your path and you don't want to have a bad start, You actually can classify as a device, but you pick a drug pathway, then of course, very different life like that. So next step is, okay, let's assume you're a medical device. Then the next step is the classification based on the risk. And globally, they recommend we should classify medical device into 4 levels, like this. Singapore is A, B, C, D, but different country call differently, right? 1, 2, A, 2, B, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That may be another reason why we can make regulatory people higher salary. Again, because the world is confusing. Sometimes you may confuse your marketing, like say, oh, my product is Class B in Singapore, Class 2 in Canada, and 2A in Australia. Wow, as a normal commercial team, they headache. This is all complicated. The world is not standardized, very confusing. But you know what? If you look at this table, actually they are the same thing. They just level 2, but they just call different name to confuse the whole world maybe. So if you're a smart regulatory, life is simple. But if you don't know regulatory, you think the world is your enemy. Wow, life so tough. I need to remember so many funny classification in the whole world. But actually, they're just 4 levels. But for your information, some country, they don't classify in 4 level, but 3 level. But the good news is they still based on risk. The higher the risk of the product, like if you just a wheelchair, maybe very low risk. Wow, here is like a pacemaker. If something wrong, people die, then they will go to like level 3, like that. Okay, so you based on risk. And then I also highly recommend there's a pretty nice tool in Singapore that you can make use of. Uh, uh, um, you can go to this website later on to really try their classification tools. You will keep on answering some different questions like, do your product have drug? How long you use your product inside the body, all that kinds of thing. Then they will come up with a classification for you. Okay, so that's a very interesting and helpful tools as well. And because of the time, sometimes the colleagues may be new. I want to spare a few minutes time here to let you know the hardcore knowledge how to classify a product, because I talk about risk. Then actually, typically speaking, I'll just pick a European example, because European example, most of country follow as well, is they have 18 rules. It's 18 classification rules. If you look at all these 18 rules, you will able to know your product classification. But because of the time today, I just briefly go through how it works. Okay, I won't able to read everyone very detailed, but at least I want to give you the basic idea how does it work. So normally, because I work in notified body before, we have many experience to classify product. Our experience is normally start with the special rule first. Okay, the special rules. Let's look at the special rules. The special rules are very special and unique. You know, if you have a product, your product will be class-free if you have a medicine inside, like condom with spermicide, dressing with medicine. No need to study so many rules. You go straight away to class-free. Class-free is what? Class-free is your highest class in Europe. Class-free is the highest. Okay, if you're contraception, you look at rule 14, maybe 2B. If you're invasive like IUD, you'll be class-free like that. If you are cleaning and disinfecting, if you're hydrating a contact lens, like contact lens solution, 2B. So you can see very straightforward. You straight away know you are here or not. And then your X-ray recording device, 2A. If you including or incorporating any animal derived material, human blood, like biological heart valve, maybe coming from animal, like that, class 3, very high risk. If your blood bag, 2B. So see, very straightforward. Then after that, if your product are not in the special rule, then you need to look at here, the other 12 rule, the non-invasive device. If your product is a non-invasive, what it means is you don't go inside the body, okay? Like a normal wheelchair, okay? You're sitting on a normal wheelchair. The first thing is they ask you, rule 1 is look at the rule 2 to 4. Okay, let's look at rule 2 to 4. Rule 2 is a storing and channeling substance into your body. No, my wheelchair don't do that. Okay, you will treat and modify substance to deliver a product like hemodialyzer. They will take your blood out, clean, and then put it back. You know, that's like treat and modify the substance and deliver back to your body. No, my wheelchair don't do that. And number 4, does it contact any injured skin? This is more for dressing, you know, different types of dressing, different classification. Then good news, you will tell your regulator or customer what is your classification. You will tell them my wheelchair classification is class 1. Reason? Because of rule 1, right? That will be the simple reason you provide. Because of rule 1, I'm class 1, because you don't fit all these 2, 3, 4. But how about your product is invasive? Here is, you know, a bit more tricky. Today, I just want to give you an idea. Is it depends on where you go and how long. Very scientific. Where you go is like the normal body opening, eye, mouth, ear, that kinds of thing. If you go here, you look at rule 5, and it depends on how long you go inside. Then the classification will be higher. Okay, if you need to surgically invasive, you need to cut open a body and then go inside, and it's only transient, less than 60 minutes, then you are 2A. Longer than 60 minutes, less than 30 days, Rule 7. Long-term or even implantable, Rule 8, like that. So, invasive device is depends on where you go and how long. Very scientific. The last 4 rule is about active device. What you mean is product you need energy to operate. So here, nowadays, let's pick example. Now also a wheelchair, but this time I have an electronic wheelchair. Then let's look at the electronic wheelchair. There's an active device, and look at that. Wow, administer or exchange energy. Electrical acupuncture. No, my wheelchair don't exchange energy with my body. Do you do diagnosis? No, my wheelchair don't. Do you administer or remove medicine? No. Then good news, you told your regulator, my electronic wheelchair will be class 1. Why? Rule 12. Because my wheelchair didn't cover by 9, 10, and 11 rule. So you see, it's quite fun, right? The life is not that straightforward. You need to jumping around to really determine. But the Singapore website I just mentioned, they try to simplify this life a little bit for you. But sometimes I think it's important that also you need to know the hardcore thing. What's going on behind, how they make that decision, say my product is class B. Just like that, because sometimes you want to twist your use. Okay. If you say my product is invasive, then I won't say it's longer than 60 minutes. I say shorter time. Then my classification will be different, right? So it's important to know the rules so that you can jumping around the classification as well. Okay, so that's step 2 about classification. Step 3, which is your product is class 2. Then your next step is, okay, what is the documentation I need for my product? In our website, there's our old website, okay, is still functioning now. But you can see today we launched our new website, ARPA EDU. So in our old website, we still have a database. You can see here. And then when you go inside, you just make a very simple entry, fill line only, to talk about what country requirement you want. Okay. For example, you type India requirement you need. Then you will receive an email to say that's the India registration requirement in an attachment, like that. So then it's free of charge, and that will be something you can make use of, like that. But one thing I highly find it really important for the team to understand is there's a 3 key criteria for approval. Because when you look at the registration requirement, product documentation requirement, there's a lot. And when you look at that, am I really need to have everything? Is there room for negotiation? Of course, the good regulation answer is what? Yes, of course, you have room to negotiate. What is the logic? The logic is here. Efficacy, safety, quality. What you mean is if your product fulfill these 3 criteria to prove your product is effective, safe, and in good quality, every government official will give you approval. So what you mean is they may, in the documentation requirement, want a particular test report to prove your product don't have electricity leakage, like that maybe. But you don't have that report. You have other tests to show the electricity safety. My whole thing is a plastic, very electricity proof, so no leakage possible, etc. Maybe you can provide this justification. Then good, regulator able to examine the electricity leakage test maybe for your product. So you see, don't always feel like, wow, this is all the document, let's do all of them. No, sometimes if you have a good justification, government may consider. And the justification is all around these 3 important words. Okay? I think, and here I want to the team now feeling warm up maybe. Let's have a interesting question. Which factor is more important, for getting approval? And please understand, I don't want to give you a misunderstanding is only one is important. I will say all of them are important. But one factor, when I talk to many regulators, they will say, more important a little bit. Not official answer. This is my personal perception only. Okay, so don't challenge the government official like that. But this is my personal perception. One factor is more important. So no right or wrong. I want to see, how the team think in terms of this thinking. Wow, I think the team is ready to be regulated. You got the good sense like that. Okay, so yes, I like the answer. I also agree. I think the logic behind is, if things are not effective, but at least safe, right? Nobody died by using your product. And efficacy can always compromise. Imagine you have a COVID-19 vaccine. In a normal vaccine, it's like 90% or 80% effective. Now I can only have a COVID-19 vaccine 60% effective, but still safe. Should I launch it? I believe government will say, launch. Yes, we need a vaccine. 60%, not bad. I know vaccine should be 80, 90%. 60%, go ahead, rather than nothing on the market, right? So you see, people may able to compromise a little bit on efficacy, but not safety. I don't want every people inject and then die. Of course, like that. So I think maybe this answer debatable, but I want to give you a perception that when you develop your documentation, safety data should be important, more important. Okay. I just got a question from some of the audience. Is we are able to share the slides. I will work with the BCS team. The quick answer is yes. How to do it, I will let the team know. No problem. So we will able to share. We will find a way. Thank you. Go to the next slide. Okay, so you download the report. When you open the report, I tell you, from my angle, is the best report you can get because it's so simple. If you go to wherever government or wherever website, you want to check a registration requirement, all you get is a guidance document. Okay, please read that. Then maybe India regulation or Korea regulation. After you read the guidance document, you still don't know. It's yes or no. Do I need this document or no? How long I can get approval? How much you charge? You still need to check many websites. Here, we digest all the information and put in the simple table, like how long is the registration you take, how many approval time, how long it take, registration valid for how long, how much it costs from the government official, they charge you for the registrations. And then in terms of documentation requirements, yes or no, like that. If you need a manufacturing license, do you need only copy or original or notarized copy, etc. in one simple word. And then, even we including a link of the website, where is this information come from. So you see, very good deal, right? And also free of charge. But of course, there are many super, I would say, detailed, good database service in the medtech sector. I'm not saying they don't need. You just use this one because mine is a very high level. But when it comes to your specific product, like you are software for a particular something, they were able to provide you more detail, a particular standard, something you need to take care, etc. So, still you may want to consider to, buy that kinds of service. But here, at least you have some starting point to help you. Okay, what happens step 4, which is your manufacturer. This is a definition of manufacturer, and the most important thing is the responsible. Okay, who responsible for your product? And this is like I call this legal manufacturer concept. Like most of the product when you see from Europe, for example, that they will say legal manufacturer is Europe, but this product may be actually made in China, packaged in Italy, wherever, and then they put down one manufacturer, Ireland, maybe, as a legal manufacturer. The reason is they want to find out who is responsible for that product. So that's how they define manufacturer. Okay, how does it the whole world work, including US, Europe, etc.? So in globally speaking, including European, ISO 13485 will be the golden standard. If you make medtech company, this is the standard I would highly recommend you follow. And how about the whole world? The whole world is relatively straightforward. I would say the core is still 13485, but they will plus or minus some local requirement and then make it into their local requirement. Like in Canada, they don't call ISO 13485, they call CMDCAS, CMDCAS, which is like 13485 plus minus something. And then US, they call QSR, etc.